Okay, this video is going to go through the procedure for the parts per million lab. So when we're looking at parts per million, we're looking at if we divided the substance into 1 million parts, how many parts of that are solute and how many parts of that are solvent, okay? So the parts per million number is how many parts of the whole are actually solute, okay? So the thing dissolved. So what it tells you to do here is to take a ice cube tray and have 10 cells. Now I don't have an ice cube tray here at home, but I have these little Dixie cups, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to start with cell number 1 right here, and it's going to loop down to 5 down at this end, and then this will be 6 and back to 10. This one is just full of plain water that I'm going to use as my solvent. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting 10 drops of food coloring in cell 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now that is 1 million parts per million. All million parts are my food coloring, right? I didn't add anything extra to it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my eyedropper and I'm going to take 1 drop of food coloring and put it into cell number 2. Okay, now I need to rinse off this pipette so that it's not colored anymore, which is going to be easier said than done. Okay, so I have some water off screen here that I'm rinsing this out with. And now I'm going to suck up my water and I'm going to add 9 drops to this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I have 9 drops of water and 1 drop of my 1 million parts per million. So what I basically did is I diluted this by 10. Okay, now I'm going to continue doing that over all of my solutions. So 1 drop of the coloring, to 9 drops of water. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I know I'm going to add 9 drops to all of these, so I'm actually going to go through and do all the water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gotta get more water. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what that will mean is I don't have to use my water anymore. Okay, so now I'm going to take from this cell, which is cell 3. Okay, so I took 1 drop from here, put it in there, 1 drop from there, put it in there. And each time I add 9 drops of water. So this one is now 10,000 parts per million. Okay, and we can definitely still see the color, but it's definitely less than it was. So I'm going to take 1 drop from there, put it in there, okay, and then remember I gotta rinse out my pipette. Now as you can see, this one, right, cell 4 there, all of a sudden that is barely a blue color. Okay, so let's see what happens in cell 5. So pull that out, put it in there. Let's see, I'm gonna move cell 5 here for you guys a little bit so you can see that liquid in there? I guess we could probably say it's still a blue color, but it's just very faintly blue. Okay, so now we're going to take a drop of that, put it in here, and I don't even see a color change there. Okay, so now 1. We can see how quickly this, right, diluted down. Okay, so here we had our 1 million parts per million. We diluted it by 10 and we had 100,000 parts per million, then 10,000 parts per million, 1,000 parts per million, and here we were down to 100 parts per million, okay, where we can still faintly see that coloring. But when we got down to 10 parts per million, we couldn't see the coloring at all, but we definitely know we still had some in there, right? So it was very crazy how quickly we could dilute that down to where we can't see the coloring, okay? What I need you to do is go through and answer the questions, fill out the data table for that, and talk about kind of what you noticed.